Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence, and as you can see here in front of me, we have an amazing spread of food. This is the great British tradition of roast Easter lamb to celebrate the arrival of the festive Easter period, and to, coincidentally, celebrate the resurrection of Christ, the Lamb of God. Step by step, I'm going to show you how to make each element of this dish. Relax and enjoy. So for this Easter dinner, you will need some Savoy cabbage, some carrots, celery, asparagus, fresh rosemary, some potatoes, a leek, mint, thyme, vinegar, sugar, garlic, an onion, and a leg or a shoulder of lamb. And of course, get yourself a nice cup of hot tea. To start this dish a night before, combine salt, garlic, rosemary, thyme and olive oil to form the marinade for our lamb. Going no deeper than 1.5 centimeters, pierce your lamb before completely stuffing your marinade into each and every one of the created pockets. Finally, wrap your lamb and store overnight in your fridge. This is how we're going to fragrantly season our lamb. Welcome back. In my case, this shoulder of lamb has been in the fridge overnight, and I'm sure by now has absorbed all of the wonderful flavors that we've put in it. The garlic, the thyme, the rosemary, the salt, and the olive oil. And now, to give us the best results when we roast this in the oven, we're going to bring this out of the fridge and allow its internal temperature to rise to the ambient room temperature. Roast potatoes are arguably the most important component. So with that in mind, to create an infusion for our potatoes, in a non-stick oven-safe pan, stir together garlic, rosemary, salt and oil, slowly bringing this up to the boil. And back to me. I've gone ahead and chopped up the potatoes, and we want our potatoes to be quite chunky because when they go into the oven they will tend to develop a really nice texture on the inside, really buttery and soft, and then of course crispy, crunchy on the outside. We're going to prod our potatoes, and what this will do is allow the flavors from the infusion that we're making to really penetrate and go into our potatoes. With your infusion boiling, submerge your potatoes into your pan face side down before placing the pan into the oven. Baste your potatoes for a few minutes with the remaining oil and liquid, allowing the infusion to seep into the potatoes before returning to the oven. Now for the base of our gravy. In an oven-safe pan, mix together celery, carrots and onion before adding hot water, rosemary and thyme over a medium heat. Now for the lamb. I'm just going to season it with some salt and some pepper on both sides. With the back of a spoon, I'm just going to rub the seasoning into the flesh to make sure it sticks. Okay, brilliant. We don't actually want our lamb to come in contact with the liquid, but we want the drippings from the lamb to fall onto our vegetables. So quarter an onion accordingly before laying the lamb out on top. This now will go into the oven and roast. I place my lamb at the top to brown, and after 40 minutes turn the temperature down from 220 to 150. At this point, remember to turn your potatoes onto their skins before returning to the oven. Okay, now we're going to make our mint sauce. In my case, I'm going to pour this into a mortar and pestle, grind the sugar with a little bit of hot water. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, just get yourself a bowl and do the same, and then just mix it together with a spoon before adding your salt and your vinegar. This will now go into the fridge to cool down, and then will be brought back out when we're ready to serve. To ensure tender, juicy lamb, once cooked, transfer to a dish, cover with foil and set aside for at least 20 minutes. Now what we're going to do is separate the vegetables remaining liquid, because it's a liquid we're actually after that has all of the flavor. We don't want to sieve this completely, we just want to get all of the juice and liquid out. Before we go further, now is the right time to start preparing our vegetables. As you know, we've got some Savoy cabbage, asparagus and some leek. We're going to start with the cabbage, removing the spine before slicing accordingly. In a pan, sprinkle in some salt with oil and hot water, followed by all the veg. Cook this with a lid on a medium-high heat. We're now going to finish off our gravy, and then we will be ready to serve. To thicken our gravy, combine butter and flour to form a paste. Whisk this until smooth, thick and glossy. All right, the best bit, tasting. Let's start off with the lamb. Nice and crispy. Bit of cabbage and asparagus. Nice crispy potatoes. And then some mint sauce. Finished off by some gravy. Okay. Let's see if all of this effort was worth it. If you've never had lamb before, please make this dish. It's just buttery, soft, rich, and with the garlic, the thyme, the rosemary, the asparagus and cabbage, crunchy, fresh, nicely salted. The potatoes, nice crunch on them. Delicious. Please, 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 don't just take my word for it. Try this dish yourselves. It's worth the effort. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch this episode where I've shown you how to make the great British tradition of roast Easter lamb. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time. This the great British tradition